Good morning, everybody. Hi, welcome to my This or That Thursday. I'm Karen Kong. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And welcome to This or That Thursday. Every week I try to post 2 cards in my group and my page, and I ask everybody to vote on a card for me to make on Thursday morning. So it was super late last night when I posted the cards. I'm sorry. Life just gets in the way sometimes. You know how it is, right? When you have kids, like on the weekend, I thought I would be able to prepare my cards and get stuff done, but I think I got, I don't know, an hour total to do some crafting this weekend because it was pumpkin carving time, and my daughter talked me into making pizza dough, and making pizza dough, I don't know why I thought I'd be able to get that done quickly. Not quickly, but I thought I'd have time in between. Good morning, Sandra. Thanks for joining me. So my weekend was completely kaput, and I also had a lunchtime event this week, my first one. So all those things just ate away at my time. Good morning, Maureen. Thanks for joining in. So all that time got sucked away, and I didn't get a chance to start on my this or that cards until yesterday, which is not ideal. So yeah, it's been a week already, and it's Thursday at least, but and I have a class this weekend to get ready for. So it's been busy. Okay, so today I'm making this card for you. I dragged out the Snowman Magic set, and I wasn't entirely happy with the final result. I don't know what you guys think, but I'm thinking, like, after I looked at the pictures when I posted them, I could see that the snowman just kind of doesn't pop. So I don't know, maybe we'll do something about that today while we're crafting, but I should get started because I have a feeling this card is definitely going to take me the full hour. Yeah. Okay, so let me turn my card over to, sorry, I can't speak today. I've already had a cup of coffee, but I obviously stayed up late last night, so I'm kind of tired and I cannot speak. Okay, so I'm going to turn my camera to my desk, and if you can just close your eyes so that you don't get dizzy while I do that. And we're going to do some embossing today, which is fun too. Embossing on vellum is actually quite fun. It actually embosses faster than embossing on paper. I was surprised to see how quickly it just melted away. All right. I think that looks good. Oh, I didn't even get my computer ready. Oh my gosh. See? I think I need a second cup of coffee. I can't see your comments yet. Just a second. I'm refreshing the screen and just getting the video up. There we go. Okay, I think that looks good. Yeah, I think I need another cup of coffee. Oh boy. All right, so let me show you the card again. So what I have here is, I have 3 layers actually. So I have the card base. I use Starry Sky. I actually meant to pull out Night of Navy, but I pulled out Starry Sky first by accident, and I thought, actually, I think I'll use that. I haven't used much of the Starry Sky. It looks really good. So Starry Sky card base, and then I embossed another piece of Starry Sky in the Snowflake Sky embossing folder, and I used the technique, well, something similar to the technique that Sarah demonstrated yesterday with embossing folders. I wasn't brave enough to actually put ink on my folder because I didn't know, because white is a pigment ink, I think. It's not it's a pigment ink. It's not water-based. So I wasn't sure how well it would come off of the embossing folder, like the water-based ink. So I didn't want to try that, but what I did was I inked up afterwards, and it still brings out the embossing. So I thought that was fun. And then on top I have the frame from the Snowman Magic, and I put a little snowman and embossed vellum on top. So Yeah, so let's get started. I have pieces left from yesterday, but I will start cutting all the rest of the pieces. Let's go. So tell me what you guys have been working with on your end. I'm bringing out some of the old favorites from previous years because that's what my class this weekend is all about, is stamping with your stash and then also using new stuff. So my new thing is the Snowflake Sky embossing folder, which worked really well with the Snowman Magic. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes, Sandra says she's going to try the pop-up card with Snowman Magic. Yeah, you could definitely do that. Okay, so I have a piece of Starry Sky paper left from cutting this piece yesterday. So it's just an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that I cut in half on the long side. And now it is 8.5 by 5.5. And I'll need to score that. And I'll need to cut this piece down to size so that it will hide beneath my white piece. Okay, the white piece is just, oh, and by the way, if you're joining for the first time, watching for the first time, I always write down the measurements in the video description afterwards. So don't worry about writing everything down. It'll be there in the video description. So yeah, I want these two pieces to match up, and so that my frame can hide the, well, I just cover the edge of the matte piece, the embossed piece, plus it helps me, gives me a place to adhere my vellum and hide the adhesive, okay? So I put a little bit of adhesive under here, and then also underneath the snowflake, because when you put adhesive on vellum, you can see it through the paper. So I hid it under a few places that I knew that it wouldn't be seen. And, oh, I forgot to tell you. I'll tell you now. The snowflake frame, I actually cut away the pieces over here. There's little snowflakes that should be in this corner too, but it hid my words. And I didn't want the words to be in the middle of my picture. I wanted it to be off to the side. So I actually cut them so that I could see them. So I tried several iterations of this card with this sentiment. I had like tried this piece like this. I tried this piece like this. I also tried like putting some coloring on the border, and I didn't like any of them. And I finally decided that I liked the vellum the best. So that's where I was stuck yesterday. So that's what took me so long. Thank you, Sandra. Thanks for the compliment. Yeah, I just sometimes, you know, things get designed and creativity comes just from trying to fix a boo-boo or from trying to make something work that wouldn't work otherwise. So like I said, I didn't want my sentiment in the middle, and I would have been forced to put it that way if I left all the snowflakes there, so I just trimmed them off. Okay, so let's get starting. And enough talking. I will get my paper trimmer out. And I'm just going to make some room, hopefully not lose my pieces. You know how it is. Like, my desk was just a wreck last night, and I could not deal with cleaning it up after I'd taken all the pictures and posted everything. So I cleaned it up this morning. Okay, so this is my half a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper, and I'm going to just measure it right on my paper trimmer at, let's see, what am I, 4 1/4. I need that second coffee. 4 1/4 is where I'm going to score it. And it just occurred to me, I'm just going to double check that I didn't take this piece from somewhere else, because I feel like it's a little bit long. Yeah, this is actually 5 3/4. So I actually cut this piece 5 3/4. I'm just going to trim it down to 5.5. I must have used it to cut the matting piece. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this to the right length. There we go. I didn't need that little piece. All right, and then I need to trim down my mat. So my mat needs to fit behind here, which is, I'm just going to double check, 4 and 5 1/4, right? 4 and 5 1/4. Okay, so it's already 5 1/4, so I will just trim it down to 4 inches. Yes, Sandra, if you could deliver me a second cup of coffee, that would be much appreciated. I definitely need it. Okay, so there we go. What else do I need to trim? Let me, before I put this away. I think I'm good for now. All right, so I'm gonna bring the card back in so you guys can see what I'm doing, where we're going with it. Okay, so I am going to emboss this piece and the background, and then I'm going to cut the frame, and then we'll go from there. I will do the background coloring because that's the fun part. Let me bring over my cut and emboss machine. Okay, so this is a 3D embossing folder, so I just look at my instructions here, and it says I need plate 1 and 4 to do it. So let me put this inside. I don't think it really matters where. I'm just trying to decide if I want more snow or a little bit less snow, because if you notice, the Snowflake embossing folder, it's heavier snow on one section and lighter snow on the other. And because so much of it is hidden, I think I'm going to go for the heavier snow, so maybe I'll see more of it. So I'll put it down at that end. Whoops, I gotta put the fold side in. Okay. All right, I love this embossing folder, isn't that great? You see that? I'm just wondering, am I off the page? Okay, yeah, there, that's the embossing, and then let's do the cutting. So I need my other plates. And I'll need the die. So this is really, I mean, we've had fall weather now for about a week or two, and then now it's like gone all the way back up to 15. It'll be 18 today, and my daughter went to school in October in shorts. I can't believe it. I'm surprised my son didn't too. Actually, I told him he could get away with shorts today, but yeah, I think he was just running too far behind and didn't have time to change. But I'm sure he would have done it if he had time. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure this is centered because I'm not trimming it down or anything, so it's just going to be as is. Okay, get that out of the way. All right. I'll run it through. Maureen, how's the weather where you are? I wonder if it's as warm as it is here. Because I know in Calgary, I think they got their first snowfall already. And it was like, it was a big snowfall. It was not like a dusting. It was a real snowfall. I'm not sure if it all stayed, but... All right, so now I gotta pop this out. I think I should, let me see. I'm just going to get the brush to help me pop out all the pieces. Okay, so I just need to take out this head. Nope, doesn't fit in this end. I have to use the other end. 10 degrees at your end, Maureen. That's not too bad. Still fairly mild. Okay. I'm not able to pull it out like this. What am I doing wrong? I'm trying to, maybe I twisted it on, so I don't want to twist the putty head by accident, because you know what happens then. Everything starts coming out like toothpaste, right? Oh, I know, I'm grasping the wrong part. I thought this white part came out, but it doesn't. All right, we're good. Let's put that away, and I'll stick the brush head in. All right, so that's just so I can get all the little pieces out. want to be careful because I don't want to tear one of the snowflakes off by accident. Actually, I can use this end to help poke. I think I have a lot of leftover pieces from the previous times that I die cut with this, and I haven't taken the time to poke those out so they don't keep building up inside the holes. There we go. All right. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so I'm just gonna get rid of these ones. Okay, I'm going to put this away. And, all right. So let's color the background here. It's very faint. You don't get to see a lot, which is why like I was playing around with the sentiment a lot because I really didn't want it to cover up the back. Where's my sponge dauber? Okay, so I'm going to use white. I don't often use white because I prefer to emboss in white, and stamping in white is, I don't know, it's not quite as good. I don't know. That's just me. But I was really happy to find another use for white because I haven't used it a lot. Oh, good. Sandra's back. All right, so let me just get another piece of scrap. Okay, in case I go off. All right, so I'm just going to ink this up, and I'm just going to dab off a little bit because I don't want the first dab to be like super bright white and like a full circle. So I'm just dabbing some of it off, and I'm just going to start tapping on the embossed sections. I'm trying not to get too hard. If I press too hard, it'll go right down to the paper, and like I'm getting like white marks around there. I think it's, you know, if I tap lightly, that it will work better. Sandra says to stamp in white and use clear embossing. Oh, okay, yeah. Because, yeah, I just didn't find that the white stamping by itself stood out very much. So what Sarah did, I think she used like a water-based red ink to do her embossing. And that, but I wanted to get white. And what the other one with, the other method they used was to ink up the embossing folder with Versamark ink and emboss it, and then apply the white embossing powder, which I could have tried because the Versamark is clear. So yeah, maybe I'll try that next for fun. I'd be interested to see how that turns out, actually. Actually, I wonder how it would look with this. If we have time at the end, maybe I'll try that too. But you see how the white is kind of getting picked up more by the embossed sections? Like, you can focus a little bit more on the embossing to give it a whiter look. But I think it feels more like it's, you know, makes it snowy-ish, foggy-ish in the background, which is exactly what it feels like in a winter storm, right? I know, I don't, you know, the whole staining bit, and I was thinking about this, is like, really, it's not going to affect our embossing, but I guess the only thing I would want to be careful of is not to leave any ink behind, because then you emboss it onto your next piece by accident if you leave it there, right? So anyways, this is, I don't know, it's fairly calming just dabbing on the white. It's an interesting effect. I think it works well for snow. Oh, I didn't stamp off that time, and now I'm getting it. It's a little too white, this sections. But so when I started doing this yesterday with the dauber, it was so I could concentrate it on certain sections, which is not as easy using a blending brush, but I'm wondering how the blending brush would work on this. But it looks like a snowy, foggy evening, right? It's, I kind of like that effect. And the snowflakes look, they actually match really well with the embossing, sorry, this snowflake border. It's the same kind of snowflake style. There you go. So there's our background, and you can fill it in as much as you want. If you work a little harder at the embossed pieces, it'll be whiter. But I think that's kind of a fun effect to try. Okay, I think we're done with that. Okay, so let me just try and figure out, I think it was this way that I had it. No, it was this way. Because the other way I would have had to break these two snowflakes apart. So I really just had to trim off that section. So I'm just going to get my scissors. I know, you don't want the embossing folders to look dirty. Yes, I get it. I get it. I like it when they're nice and white. Okay, so I'm just double checking. Yeah, this is the right side. I'm just going to trim off these two snowflakes here. I'm going to take my scissors. Let me just see if I can get this in better this way. I tried it with my, using my trimmer last night, and it was harder to see where to stop. And I kind of went beyond the edge there, which I wasn't happy with. But it was okay, because that's why I ended up putting the bow in the corner here to hide that tiny little extra cut. But it worked out. Anyways, so I might leave this one here and see how it looks, because I can see that it's a little bit empty here. So I might leave that one, and I'm just going to take the two off the top. Let's see how this works. I have a feeling we're going to have some reality crafting moments today. Me with needing a second cup of coffee and all. All right. Let's see how that works out. Okay, so let's, what do you want to do next? Should we do the embossing next? Let's do the embossing next. I'm going to put these on the side. And I already have this set up on my stamparatus, and apologies to all of you who don't have this wonderful tool. I just, you know, you don't realize how awesome it is, and then, you know, if you don't have it, unfortunately you can't get it anymore because Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell it. Okay, where's my vellum gone to? Oh, here it is. Okay. So I lined it up so that it would stamp right in this corner. But I need a little bit more space because I need a frame around here so that I can adhere it. So I need to push it off to the side. So I was kind of guessing as to where I needed to put it yesterday, and I just left it where it was. So okay. So that looks about right. I need like a little bit of room along the top and the bottom. And I gotta make sure that my, oh, I need a circle die. And of course I put it away. Oh, here's the set. Okay, so I just need my circles. I'm just going to make sure I have enough room. Okay, is this the right one? Yeah, okay. So I just want to make sure I have enough room to die cut this, and that's going to be fine, I think. Something like that. All right. I have cut this several times in the last couple of days, trying to make it fit right. Just double checking, eyeballing. Okay, let's go ahead with it. Versamark ink. I need my Versamark ink to ink up so that the embossing powder will stick. Oh, I should use my embossing buddy and make sure that nothing extra sticks to my paper. Okay, this is just to remove the static so that when you emboss, the embossing powder doesn't stick to unwanted areas due to static, and then you end up with a picture that's, or a stamped image that's not quite clear because you can't get the excess powder off. All right, so there we go. Okay, now I know you can't see the Versamark on there. I'm just going to move my stamparatus, and then we'll pour some embossing powder over this. So I'm just using silver. And it's like magic. It's even more like magic once it embosses. Oh, I need some more on the Y here. There we go, that looks much better. Okay, so you can see everywhere it's stuck. I'm gonna move this to the side. Okay, and then we'll emboss this. I'm just going to bring over my heat gun, and I'm going to just let it warm up because I don't want it to blow on the paper and make it warp and roll and stuff before it's hot enough to actually melt the embossing powder. Okay, actually I'm going to get my ceramic tip ones. So the kit, the Embossing Buddies kit and everything comes with ceramic tip tweezers. I'm just going to let this warm up just a second. Just check. Oh yeah. Okay, so I need to do a little bit more on the TIME. So normally I'm holding this with my fingers, but farther away. I'm trying to get this to lie straight when I'm embossing. Just a second. Oh no, I touched it. See, reality crafting. What'd I say? What did I say? I'm just going to brush off the excess, and I don't know if I can save this. I might have to do it again. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the vellum is easier to warp, but it's kind of weird trying to hold it to show you on the camera. Sorry, it's easier to hold it off camera because I hold it down and it doesn't warp as much, but it's, okay. It's not terrible. I think, I'm wondering if I need more heat on the E there. The bottom of the E is not quite done, I think. Say, I'm going to take this one off camera so I can see it better and emboss just that one spot. There we go. Now I can see it, it's all melted and it's all shiny. All right. I'm just going to try and flatten this out a little bit and roll it a little bit to reshape it gently. Okay. All right, so now we have to cut that out, and I need to cut out a few pieces for my snowman. Okay, so the snowman has several pieces. Oh, I need to stamp his scarf. Just a second. All right, so let me find my scrap. Where did those go? Okay, here's a scrap. I'm going to stamp his scarf in Tahitian Tide just to give a little pop of color. And oh, this side. I left the masks for the snowman from a previous project on there because I can reuse those. It's just there's the scarf. I was just sitting here thinking, where is the scarf? Okay, there we go. Let me stamp that. I'm gonna try that one more time. It doesn't look bad, but I just want it to look darker. I wonder if I stamped it on the stamparatus before, because that was actually a piece that I had stamped out and not used. I think that looks a little bit darker. That's better. Okay. Because I keep like extra pieces. I don't know about you, but like sometimes you stamp and die cut a bunch of pieces to play with them, and then you don't necessarily use all of them. So that was left over from a previous project, and it just happened to work for this one. Okay, here's a trick I have for you guys. So I don't have every single color of cardstock, okay, that to match everything. I have a lot, but I don't have everything. So I don't have orange. I don't have pumpkin pie. So you know what I did? I wanted an orange nose, so I took my blends marker in pumpkin pie and I just colored it. Oh, you're saying sweet sorbet? Yeah, it would be. Yeah, totally. I'm just going back to Sandra's comments. I know secretly you want to redo it. Yes, Sandra, you know me too well. I would totally want to redo that because I touched it by accident. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, you are totally right. But you know what? I'm not going to. I'm going to restrain myself, and that will be fine. It will be fine. Okay, back to what I wanted to say. Yeah, so if you don't have the cardstock that you want, but you do have the marker, just create your own cardstock. I have blended ink color onto, like I could have blended it, but it was faster for me because the snowman nose is just so tiny. I really didn't want to have to like take out a brush and then have to wash it just for that one thing and that tiny little space. So all I did is I took my blends marker and I just colored in a tiny area that I would need for the nose. That's all I need. Where's my nose die? Okay, so I'm just going to get the dies for the nose. So see, I get 3 noses. They're so ridiculously small. And I need his scarf. Okay, and okay, and I'm gonna cut out a couple other pieces too, and I'm gonna use the face die. Oops, I should get that out too. Hello. Okay, let me just put these away and make some room for my cut and emboss machine. All right. So I have a few pieces. You can see the tiny little pieces here left over. You should always take them off because they will cause dents in your paper if you let them stay there and you put it on your paper on top by accident. Okay. I'm going to flip this over because I can see it's starting to warp. I should actually replace this soon, I think. This plate has been well used. Okay, so here's my scarf. Here's my nose. I need my arms. So this is like a scrap piece of soft suede. And all I need are like these tiny little pieces. Uh-oh. Where did my other arm go? Oh, here we go. Whew. Oh my goodness, these tiny little pieces. It was just on the other side of the case. Okay, so here's one arm. And one more arm. I know that that snowman face, I had no idea how to use it last year when I first got it. I thought it was for cutting out the tiny little circles and gluing them on, and I was just like, no, I cannot do that. Even with tweezers, I didn't want to attempt trying to glue on those tiny little circles. Okay, what am I missing? Oh, a snowman. And I need to die cut that after, I think. Okay, so let's get out the snowman shape. I didn't stamp him. I didn't want his outline, but maybe... No, I think I want to leave him as is. I was thinking maybe it would give him more definition if I outlined him, but I like him without the outline. I don't know. We'll see. I was going to add a little bit of shadowing on the edge. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so, and the face, I'm going to need my tweezers to put these down. Yeah, I know, left and a right arm, but you know what? People notice. Karis notices immediately when there's like, we have Halloween decorations, and for some reason, we don't have a right and left arm for sticking out of the ground. We have two right arms, and she complains about it because she says it looks strange. She notices. Okay, I need to move this face down a little bit because his hat is going to cover part of his face. All right. I hope that looks good. Okay, I can't sneeze now. I think that's good. I'm going to die cut that. Let's go. Yes, I do have the white velvet. I do actually. Maybe I should try that. I wonder how the if the face would die cut properly in the velvet too. Okay, let me put that face die back in the case before I lose it. Yeah, I didn't try the velvet. I do have it though. I'm just trying not to lose the pieces here. Maybe what I'll do is I'll move my cut and emboss machine, and then I'll just leave the die cuts behind. Oh no, I still have to cut my my other piece, the sentiment. Just a second. Okay, let's put these over here, and I need to poke out one of the arms. One of the arms is stuck inside, so I'm gonna just get my take your pick tool. There we go. His skinny little arm. And look at how cute that face is. Oh my gosh. He's so cute. Okay. And oh, I missed doing the hat. I gotta do a hat. One more arm and a nose, which I don't need. Two arms. Okay. Oh, yeah, I guess so. But I find that the velvet doesn't, like, it's not as easy to mark because it is fibers, right? So with those tiny little dots, I'm not sure it would look very distinct. Okay, a hat, and is that it? Oh, the sentiment. Oh, yes. Okay, here's the sentiment. And I am going to take the circle, and I'm not going to get a full circle out of it because I know it's going to be, it needs to be cut away from the side. Actually, is this the right size? Let me just double check that. You know what? That is not the right size circle. I need one bigger one. Just a second. Yes, I'm worried I'm going to lose these two little arms before I get to them. There's just not enough room on the table. Okay, let's see. That looks better. All right. So it doesn't matter that it's off the page, because I know that I don't want all of it showing anyways. Okay. So there's that. And I need my hat. And that was just the back for the snowman face. So when you cut out the snowman face, you have to cut a black piece to go behind it so that you can maintain the face on there. I'll show you what I mean, because otherwise you see whatever's behind it, right? And I want it to be black so that it's like, I'm just moving this around because I don't want the hat to accidentally move onto the vellum. So let's just make sure this is where I want it. Okay. All right, let's put that through. Yes, that's Murphy's Law, right? Murphy's Law, that you cut it, you can't find it, you cut it again, and oh, it turns out. Okay, hat and sentiment. I'm just going to take the die. These dies are just so easy to misplace. Okay. And I'm going to move this over here. Oh my God. Are you actually... No. Use the face die and cut out the black pieces and cut it in glue. Oh my gosh, the glue dot would be bigger than the eye dot. It would be impossible. Okay, wait. All my little pieces here. I'm gonna need my... Let me just grab my... silicone mat. Again, cannot speak. Need that second coffee. Where's my tweezers? Okay, I'm actually going to stack the noses. Like, I don't need 3 noses, but I think it actually looks good to stack them. So I'm just going to stack them to give, because what's going to happen is that I have to lay them in that hole. And it just stands out more if I stack the noses. But I need a little circle first. So I'm just going to cut out a little circle that goes on the back of his head. Okay. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's just behind everything. It's just a backing piece. Okay, let me just see if that fits. I don't want it to show. Yeah, that's not quite small enough. I've got to trim it down a little bit. Let's see if that's small enough. Yeah, that should work. Okay. So I'm just going to put glue on the back here. Can I put a piece of orange paper behind the something for the nose? I don't know if that would be easier, because I need to, like, I have to cover the, these need to be black, and then I need that little piece in the middle to be orange, right? So I'm just going to put the black on, and I'll just glue the orange nose. It's fine. Okay, so there. Oops, I think it's actually bigger. The glue dots are probably, oh, that's okay. That's good. All right, so now I've got my backing piece. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each nose piece and glue them on. See, perfect little orange noses. Didn't need to have like a whole stack of paper for that. Oh, I see. Just reading your comment. But I think it works fine like this. Like, I'm just going to stick the nose on. So I'm just going to put a little glue. And you just, I'm barely squeezing this glue and getting tiniest little dots here. Definitely need tweezers to work with the snowman. I don't know, like I watched the video where they used their fingers and I just could not imagine trying to hold the nose and put it in the right spot. I couldn't do it. Oops, see, now it's moving. Not quite glued yet. See? See the glue dot? It's like bigger than the nose. I'm just going to take that and wipe it off. And I'm going to take my second nose and put it on top. And then his nose will stick out more. It'll be more prominent. Whoops. Here we go. I like that. All right. Now we'll put on his hat. Actually, you know what? So what I was thinking was I might take like my sponge dauber and put a little bit of shadowing on here using Starry Sky. If I know where my Starry Sky went to. Oh, I found it. Just to give him a little bit more definition, because when I put him on the frame, he just completely blends in, right? So I'm just going to take a little bit of Starry Sky. Where did my scrap go? I need a piece of scrap paper. Here, I'm just going to use this. Okay, I'm just going to tap it along the side here, just to give him a little bit more definition, I think. Let's see how this works out. I hope I don't regret this. I can't quite get into that corner there. I think that's going to be good. I'll just do the one side, I think, because his other side is going to be lit by the moon. That's what I intended the sentiment to look like, was to be like the moon, but it just didn't work with white. I just didn't like the way it looked. So there we go. I'm just going to add a little bit more shadowing. Okay, I think that's probably good. Put this down, and we'll put some glue on for his hat. I'm going to put it right on his head. Again, I'm barely squeezing the glue so that I can get very thin lines. And I want to tilt his hat because I want it to be a little bit jaunty. All right, now the arms. My gosh. Okay, which side is which? Oh, like this. Okay, that's good. All right, so I found that the best way is I arrange the arms and then I place these on top once I have the glue on. So now I'm just kind of arranging my arms the way I want them before I stick the glue on. And then I'll just stick the snowman right on top. So I want his hands in the air, like that. That's probably good. I'm gonna aim him just a little bit hard down. Yeah, I think that looks good. Actually, am I hiding too much? Sometimes you realize afterwards, like, oh, his arm looks short on one side. So, just checking. All right, so I'm just going to put one dot of glue on each arm. Whoops. Oh, shoot. Let's move that back. So you never see this happening in the Stampin' Up! Videos. This is reality crafting. They stick to you. Okay, I'm going to pull that arm out a little bit more because it was a little bit too far behind. There we go. Great. Oh, really? The glue dots from the, oh, okay, from the kits, eh? That's good to know. All right, we're done with that. We don't need that third nose. If I wanted to, I'm sure I could stick that on top too, but I think he's fine. I'm gonna put this nose die away before I lose that. What else do I need? Oh, his scarf. Here we go. Okay. Perfect. All right. I love that little vase when it's like cut out like that. It just looks so cute. Okay, now we can work on assembly. All right. Let's move our snowman off to the side. Where did my card base go? Okay, so let's fold the card base in half. Sandra, did you cut any pumpkins this year? Any pumpkin carving at your place? Because I know your kids are they're both kind of too old now for pumpkin carving. I don't know if Kaylin still likes it or not. Aiden, of course, couldn't be bothered. Last year he helped us carve, but this year he did not. Oh, I think that's because he was working, so. But he's not super into carving or anything. And Maureen, do you bother to carve any pumpkins for your place? For your grandchildren, perhaps? Okay, so this fits perfectly, but the first thing I have to do, actually, you know what, I'm going to glue this one down first, or adhere it. Let me find my tear and tape. Everybody wants the pumpkin seeds here at this house. I don't know if we're just going to continue carving after the kids are too old for carving just so that we can have pumpkin seeds, or what. But right now, Karis loves to clean out the pumpkin seeds. She's a very tactile kind of person. She loves touching slime and dirt and insides of pumpkins. She loves that. And so she loves cleaning the seeds, which is great because I did not like cleaning the seeds. She will sit there for like ages picking out all of the, you know, the pumpkin pieces and sorting it out and washing them. Oh, hi, Diane. Thanks for joining in. No carving at your place, Maureen. And Sandra says she gave up on pumpkin carving this year. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think we may continue for a while because they want to eat the pumpkin seeds. And that's the only way they're going to get them. So we have to buy pumpkins and clean them out. But like I said, if I had to do the cleaning of the pumpkin seeds, I don't think it would happen. I can take care of the roasting and everything, and that's fine. They do the carving and stuff. I help with designing, and they make it happen. Okay, heavier snow on bottom or on top? I'm thinking on the bottom since you can't really see it otherwise behind the sentiment. So let's go with that. Yeah, if those guys weren't willing to carve, I don't think I would go out of my way to get pumpkin seeds. All right, so there's my matte background. Okay, and this is going to go somewhere around here. Let me just double check where I'm going to place it. So I'm going to lay it out first just to double check that I can see everything. I wanted to leave that one snowflake there. and see if I could still leave it there and fill in that empty spot. Yeah, I think that'll work. I think I can leave it there. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do, instead of trying to figure out where to put the vellum, because it's not quite up at the top, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put the tear and tape on the back of the frame, and I will adhere my vellum to it that way, because then I can tell where it's going to sit. Yes, so if you saw the picture, Karis has decided she likes the tools. So we got out tools to help with the carving, and she just did a whole bunch of holes, and she had the best time doing it. I'm gonna have to take pictures and post them later. I usually post a lot of like stories and stuff on, not a lot, but I do post on Instagram, so, and sometimes I just don't get around to posting the same thing on Facebook. But I'll try to post on both. Okay, so here I'm just going to line it up this way so that I can see that my, oh, let me use my silicone mat so it doesn't stick on the paper. It'll be easier this way. Okay, so I'm just going to line it up this way, make sure my letters are not hidden. Let's see, that looks straight. Good. All right, I love this silicone mat. And I'm gonna put a little bit of tear and tape right behind the snowflake where you can't really see it. Where's the edge? Okay. Whoops. Why is it not sticking? Oh, it's stuck on my finger. Ha! Again, reality crafting. It's like, why is this backing piece not sticking? And it just keeps coming off. Okay, so it was stuck on my finger. I'm just gonna stick it right there. And even yesterday, it was like sticking to the wrong spots. I'm just gonna see if this is visible from the front side, because I will cover it up. You know what? I don't think I can see it. I'm gonna leave it. Yeah, I think it's gonna be fine. I was worried because it's part of it's not on the middle of the snowflake, but I think it'll be okay. I'm going to cover it up with a jewel anyways. So now I just need to put adhesive all along the edge so that I can stick it onto my card. Oh yeah, so about the weather, I just can't believe my daughter went to school in shorts today. It's October. This never happens. Like I don't remember. Well, I guess there have been some Octobers that were really warm, but seriously, shorts in October, just crazy. And I think it's going up to 18 today. So yeah, she's not gonna freeze. Where's the end? I'm going to the Halloween dance with her at her school this Friday, and one mom just asked me if I was going to dress up, and I totally slipped my mind. I was like, oh, dressing up, that's right. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to dress up. I'll just go as me, but or find something easy to wear. I don't think I'm going to dress up. She is, yeah, I think so too, Sandra. Okay, so let's get all of this up. All the backing off. Oh, and you know what I did? I also put glue behind the snowflakes because I didn't want them to raise, like to be off the paper, because sometimes it twists a little bit and warps a bit when you die cut it and you pull off the die. So that helps it to lie flat. And I'm just going to put little dots of glue down to make sure that it lies flat. Okay. It's pretty easy to do. I mean, the snowflakes, you know, you pretty much have like great places to put dots at the ends of the snowflakes. It's not hard. Just takes a little bit of patience. And again, I'm barely pressing on the glue bottle to dispense, like just tiny dots of glue. Okay. Good. All right, back to the tweezers so I don't touch anything. Let's get the card base back here. I'm just going to double check that I have it on the fold in the right spot, because you would hate to put it upside down after all this work. I'm actually going to use my hands to hold this because I need to align it over the edges, because I cut them exactly the same size, but it'd probably be easier if I cut it very slightly smaller, but I did not. That's okay. Okay. Just going to press down on each of these snowflakes to make sure the glue adheres. I think that looks good. All right, so let's take the snowman, and I'm going to put him here. I think that helps him stand out a little bit more instead of just white. Yeah, I think that worked out. Okay, so I'm going to use glue dots to put him on, except I'm going to put glue dots up here because I know that there's an extra layer of paper here, and I'll use tear and tape down at the bottom. I like to keep like my my elements like on different layers. Try to keep them around the same height. Oops, that's a little bit too much. Then you don't get like bending of the element after, especially when it goes through the mail. Oh, I'm gonna put on my glue dots first. Glue dots. Hello. Did I use? Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm gonna put one on the hat. And maybe in the middle of his body. Really doesn't take a lot to glue to get him to stick. There we go. Oops, I'm sticking my finger in it. There. That glue dot gives it just a little bit extra height, just a tiny bit, like when you have an extra layer of paper, and it really helps. So here we go. There. All right, finishing touches coming up. Just over an hour. Looking at my time here. All right, so I did not want a big bow. I just felt like it was too much. So I just tied a little knot. I think it's more elegant that way, and it doesn't overwhelm that way. So I'm tying it right on the spool so that I can gauge how much I need, because sometimes if I cut too much, cut too little, I can't fix it right. But if it's right on the spool, then I don't waste anything. I'm just fixing the knot so that it lies flatter. There we go. I think that's better. Okay, I need some scissors. Yeah, the shadowing looks good. Oh, bye Maureen. Bye Diane. Thanks for joining for a short time even. Okay. I'm just going to straighten out this edge. Now I have tiny little fibers here. I'm just going to clean them off. And we'll use a glue dot to stick that on. Glue dots, where did I put them? Oh, here they are. Okay, so let's just stick it right over that dot. Peel the whole thing off. And we'll stick it in the corner. And the last thing is to get some rhinestones to give it a little bit of extra sparkle. I think I like my second card better than my first. Okay, I need my tip. The putty tip, and so I can get my rhinestones off. Okay. All right. So let's take, I'm just checking out the sizes again. So I used a medium-sized one over here by him, by my snowman. And then a little one on top of the snowflake. And then one more, because 3 is the magic number, down here. And I think that looks good. There we go. Look at that. We're done. I was worried it was going to take a lot longer than this. This was a more complicated card than I had originally intended. Yeah, I think the shadowing looks, can't see this. There we go. Can you see this now? There we go. Yeah, the shadowing looks much better. Yep, it does help make the snowman stand out more. And yeah, the second card turned out way better, I think. I like that. I'm happy. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and if you're watching after on the replay, I would love it if you drop a comment, say hi, and tell me where you're watching from. It's always nice to see who's watching and see who's joining in. Hopefully next week I'll be able to post my cards a little earlier and it won't be so late, but hope you enjoyed it and have a great day, everybody. Bye.